Welcome back to another episode on Wishin Country Living. I'm Kim, and today I'm going to show you how we make homemade noodles. So follow along. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 cups of flour right onto my cutting board. And I have a cutting board because my countertop is textured and I don't want textured in my noodles. So there's 1 cup, and I'm going to get 1 more, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so I have 2 cups of flour here. So now I am just going to get some salt. I'm just going to shake something on there. I don't really measure it. You're supposed to do about a teaspoon. But like I said, I'm just going to shake it on there generously. I like salt. So there you have it. And then I'm just going to move it around a little bit. And I'm just going to make a hole in the center. Now here in the center of this is where I'll be putting the eggs. Now I got 3 eggs there. I'm gonna do 1 egg yolk and 2 eggs. So I'll be right back with that. Okay, so I have the 2 whole eggs and the 1 egg yolk. And the reason I do that is so that my noodles are a little bit more of a yellow color. And now, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just going to kind of scramble these and slowly incorporate the flour into the egg. So just keep on adding flour to it and mix it up into a dough. And I'll be back to show you what's going to happen next. Okay, so once the dough starts getting thicker inside, like more doughy inside of the flour, the fork isn't going to work anymore. So now we're going to use our fingers. And I forgot, but I should have a cup of water here next to me. Because if this gets too dry, I can just add a little bit of water. Another thing you could add if it gets too dry is milk. It's just your preference. I've done both, and both, they don't really taste any difference. So I'm just going to use water. Okay, so now we have the dough, and it is crumbly. This is not what we want. And you're going to, at this point, when it's like super crumbly like this, what you're going to do is you're going to get your water. I only have a little bit. All you're going to do is get a little bit out. You're only going to need a little bit, drops at a time. You can come back in for more, and then we're going to just incorporate those drops in. And this might take you a little bit, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to overwater it. And then you need to add flour, and then you're adding water, and then you're adding flour. That is not what we want. So just a little bit of water at a time, and keep trying to incorporate it in. Okay, so I've been kneading this for a little while, maybe 3 minutes, and I've used about 2 tablespoons of my water. Now it's still really dry here. We want the consistency of Play-Doh. So being that this is still very dry and what I would call shaggy looking, we're going to add this water from our fingertips to it, and then we're going to start kneading it. And you're just going to keep kneading it like this. It's 'cause I'm holding my camera. So you're just going to keep kneading it like this until we have the consistency of Play-Doh. And don't be in a hurry to add water, but if it gets dry, add the water, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I kneaded the dough for maybe 5 minutes, and it's like Play-Doh is what it feels like, maybe a little bit stickier. But it was good enough to pull the dough off my hands. You just flip it over. And now what you're going to do with your ball of dough that you have here is you're going to wrap it in some plastic wrap. And then you're going to let it rest in your refrigerator for 30 minutes. And I'll be back after that. Okay, now I've left this in the refrigerator, and it's been in there for about an hour. And it's okay to leave it in there a little bit longer. You can leave it actually up to 24 hours in there before you roll it out. And you're just going to open it up. So I have a pizza cutter here, and I'm just going to cut a piece apart. You don't want it too big. You're going to rewrap this and put it to the side. You're going to get your piece of dough, and we're going to put some flour on it. This way it does not stick to your counter. I have my cutting board here because I don't want the texture of the counter in my noodle, and I am just going to flatten this. Now this is the one way you can do this, and after I show you this way, I will show you the other way I cut my noodles. So we're just gonna keep doing this until it is very flat. Maybe an 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch thick. And I just keep on flipping, and I keep rolling in different directions. Okay. Now at this point, I can't really get it any thinner. And then I'm just going to take my pizza cutter here, and I'm going to cut it into little strips. And then after we have all of our strips cut, I use a clothes hanger, and I just drape my noodles on the clothes hanger, and I let them dry. Now you can let them dry till they are crispy, or you can cook them now if you would like right after you're done cutting them all. You can cook them. I don't know the timetable because every noodle will be different, but you just cook them and you taste them until they are done for your liking. And I'll show you that later on, but for now I'm going to finish with this, and then I'm going to show you the other way that I make my noodles. You can stop. Okay, so another way we can cut our noodles into size is I'm going to use this. I really should be using a knife, but I am using this today. Okay, so I cut it another small piece, and we are going to wrap this up again. And you keep it wrapped up just so it doesn't dry out. So we got our piece, and as always, we're going to dip it in the flour. And then I'm going to just roll it out just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to go this way with it. So this way I don't have a super long noodle. Okay. So once I have it, like that, we're going to come over here, and this is my noodle maker. Now over here is a knob that you can choose the thickness of your noodle. Now we usually keep ours on number 8, so that's where we're going to keep it. And then we just take, sorry, I forgot my crank handle. We just take our crank handle and we will feed this through. as it comes out. Now at this stage of the noodle, you could use this long noodle as a lasagna noodle if you wanted to make lasagna. But we don't want to make lasagna. We want to make noodles because I'm going to make soup. Now I could use this spot here. That makes like an angel hair spaghetti. And I don't want angel hair spaghetti for soup. I want wider noodles. So we're going to use this one right here. And we're going to put it through. And we have noodles. So we're going to take them over here. And there's our noodles. And then I'm just going to put them on the hanger. Now these are thinner than the ones that I rolled out, because when you roll it through the machine, you can get them thinner. So we're just going to take these and we're going to hang them on here. Now if you have a KitchenAid mixer, you can get a similar noodle maker and put it on your KitchenAid mixer and make them that way, and it is a little bit faster. I don't have one of those mixers, so this is how I do it by hand. So we're just going to keep going with the rest of our dough, and we're going to let them dry, and I'll be back later to show you how we're going to cook them. That's good, huh? Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3 hangers of noodles, and we are just going to hang them up to dry. Now you can hang these all day to dry them super dry. You can hang them for a couple hours. You can cook them right now if you wanted to. That's totally up to you. You have to put them in your refrigerator. They will stay good for up to a week in your refrigerator. So there you have it. And I will come back and show you how we are going to use these today. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I make my turkey noodle soup. Now I'm going to get some of my bacon grease, and I have shown everybody already how I save my bacon grease, and I am going to put a little bit in the bottom of the pot. I don't have onion and I don't have celery. This is kind of like just what I have on hand is what's going in tonight. I have carrots, so I'm going to put some carrots in there, and I am going to saute my carrots. When my carrots are starting to get soft, I'm going to just put in some minced onion in there, and I will throw some garlic powder in there just for a little bit of extra flavor. So I'll bring you back. Okay, the carrots are done sauteing, and they are a little soft. So now I'm going to add in my turkey broth. And to get it open, I just use the can opener with the little point, and I just pull up. And there we have it. There's our broth that we had canned. And I'm just going to pour that in. And I'm going to let that cook for probably 15 minutes to soften the carrots even more. Okay, so our broth is really hot right now, and I'm just gonna sprinkle in some minced onion because I didn't have any to saute. So I just sprinkled a little bit in there to give it a little bit of onion flavor. A little bit of garlic salt because I don't want to put garlic powder and salt in there. And I'm gonna put a little bit of rosemary because I really love the flavor of rosemary. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water. Then I'm going to add, I have some of this Better Than Bouillon turkey flavor. I'm going to add just a little bit in there, just to give it a little bit of more turkey flavor. I'm going to stir it until it comes off my spoon. And I'm only putting this in there because I added that extra water. Okay, came off my spoon. And I'm just going to let this go for a little bit and just let all the flavors unite in there. And I'll be back in a minute. Now that our broth is boiling again, I am going to open my turkey that I have canned. And I am going to put that in there. Maybe. There's a lot of turkey in there. And our turkey is in. And I'm going to give that a stir. And I'm going to wait for it to come to a boil again. And then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so it came to a boil again. Now, I do it this way just so I know that, like, my carrots are cooked, the meat is hot, everything's good, all the flavors are uniting in there. Okay, so I decided I'm going to add maybe a half a cup more of water in here, only because I'm going to be cooking my noodles in here. And because I'm cooking my noodles in here, a lot of that liquid's going to soak up and go into my noodles. And I don't want to lose all my broth that I worked so hard to have turkey noodle soup. So I'm just going to wait for this to return back to a boil, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so it has returned back to a boiling, and I have my noodles. So I am just going to break these into there so that they will cook in there. And you don't have to do anything pretty with this, just get them in there. They can be any shape, any size, whatever you like to do. If you really want really long noodles in your soup, you can have really long noodles in your soup. I just kind of break them. Some of them fall over the place, but that's okay. So I'm going to continue to do this with probably most of my noodles, and I will bring you back. Okay, so the soup is done. It boiled for approximately 8 to 10 minutes. I don't remember the exact timing, but the noodles are now soft. I tested them probably 3 or 4 times between me and my husband. We taste tested them just for them to be the softness that we like. So that's what you have to do, because every noodle is different. Every time I cook them, it's a different amount of time. I did put a little bit into a bowl, and I'm going to have my dear husband taste it, and we'll let you know. Okay, so I just gave my husband the bowl, and he's going to taste test it for us.
It's good. I like it.
So there you have it. We like it. He likes it. It's all good. Thank you for watching. And as always, keep wishing.